Hello, everybody. This is Kaylana. I'm going to do a vlog on a specific topic, and I know I have not done any videos in a very, very long time, but I just felt the need to share a couple of things with you. And but this particular issue, I just can't get it out of my spirit. So, as we all know, as believers, and maybe even some of you who aren't Christians or believers, you might not kind of understand what I'm talking about, but then maybe you do. So hopefully this will bless you. One thing that has been really, I don't want to say getting under my skin, but just really kind of aggravating me is seeing a lot of these men, and this is something that's going to help the women and maybe even bless some of the men. But I just see a lot of these men that go online on social media and not just Facebook or Instagram, but also on YouTube, trying to give all of this advice and even some godly advice, just putting it out there. And not specifically only just targeting women, but just in general. And knowing that it's going to be bait, knowing that it's going to hook people in just to gain either more followers or just for them to get more attention. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying that if a man is giving information or saying that the Lord said something, or even just trying to give a helping hand or useful advice or information, that it's not from God. It's not, the motive isn't right. But what I'm talking about is when the motive isn't right. And what I'm noticing is that, yes, so many of these men that are trying to have all of these female followers. And first, I need to start on the topic just for the men that are Christian, like Christian men. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that their motive is off. I'm talking about the ones that are saved and seasoned and know better, but they really want to have this large female fan base. And any information that they say that came from God, whether it's a prophecy or a word of knowledge, or just some useful inspiration or something like that, they seem to attract a lot of females. Now, sometimes you just may have some men that just really want to help people, and then you got some lonely females out there who just want to find somebody to conversate with or find them interesting. And especially if this male happens to be single and the females know that, then of course they're going to always click like on their posts. They're going to always share their videos. They always want to be the first to comment on whatever it is that they're posting and things like that. But definitely there has to be some wisdom used in these situations like this, because a lot of men, they like that. They prey on women, and especially they want people to follow them just because it's an ego issue. It's an ego thing. And so, ladies, I just want you to be very aware and be very careful of the wolves in sheep's clothing. Now, you got some men that like attention. I mean, I understand, like, we all have our flaws. We all, I totally get it. But I'm just talking about the motive. And so don't be so quick to like everything that people post. Don't be so quick to just share everybody's video. Especially if it's not, if you are discerning that what they are saying is done with the intent of getting people to follow them, or just to try to get some attention and things like that. And that's something that I'm seeing. And what is bothering me is that some people, some of these men, get on social media in the name of the Lord and say, "Thus said the Lord," knowing that a lot of females will end up liking or commenting or even following what they're saying or doing. And so you just have to be mindful of the motive and the intent as to why they put that information out there. Sometimes, I mean, I've seen so many things. And now going to the other subject of, there are some men who are not saved. They're not Christian at all, not even in the slightest. And I'm not trying to call out anybody, but I have seen a lot of men, they get on social media platforms and they have a lot of female followers. And it's like some of the information that they give out is factual. There are facts. There's a difference between facts and truth, because anything can have facts in it, but it may not be totally true. You see what I'm saying? Like, almost like being interrogated by the police, and you're giving facts. You're giving you're giving answers, but everything that a person may say as they're being interrogated may not necessarily be true. You see what I'm saying? And so it's almost like when people take a little bit of something that's factual and then mix it in with their own opinion and a little bit of bad motive, and now you have a big lie. And I know some people think that a little white lie is not a big deal, but it really is a big deal, especially when you're on a social media platform trying to give information and trying to get people to follow you. You see what I'm saying? And so this goes on to say, just be mindful of the information that you are receiving, and don't be so quick to respond to everything that some of these men are posting out there, because really what they want is a follower and followers, and really what they want is to have this large female fan base, and really what they want is to have somebody to worship them. And we all know what God says about idolatry, and which is one of the 10 commandments, that we should not have any other God except for the true and living God, one God, and we cannot worship any graven images. So it's like we can't have, we can't say that we love God, and at the same time, we're trying to get all this advice from these men, and not to say that they're all wrong, but it's the motive behind it. You see what I'm saying? And just be so careful about all these guys out here trying to prophesy. Now, I know there's women that do it too, but I'm talking about the men right now. Just be kind of mindful of even some of these men out here trying to prophesy and trying to give out good information, and even perhaps giving out their phone number, or wanting women to email, inbox them. Now, some guys may not say females; they may just put that information out there, but they know most of their followers are female. They're not crazy, and so but then turn around and say, "Oh well, I'm single," or say, excuse me, "Oh well, you know that I'm married." So it's just stuff like that. It's the motive behind it, and so just be very mindful of who you're following and why you're so interested in everything that they have to say. They may have some great information. They may have very useful posts or very useful videos. Maybe they have some insight from God or whatever. But just listen to their heart, because eventually they're going to tell on themselves. And definitely someone that you're following has to have not only pure intentions, but even their spirit has to be right. Not using profanity out of every single word that they say. It's just the motive. You feel what I'm saying? And so just be mindful, be on alert. Don't be so quick to follow everybody. Don't just like on everything. Don't share everything on your page just because it sounds good, because there are a lot of people out there who are giving false information that sounds good, and they're leading a lot of people straight to hell.